Hey, so today I'm going to be doing an injection for you guys. It is the 1st of 2018, so Happy New Year, and kind of cool that we get to do a shot on the 1st of the year. So, this is what I use to inject. I give myself intramuscular injection, and I do it in my quad muscle. This is the Depot Testosterone. It's a serum. It comes in a 200 ml, little whatever this is, what do you call this thing again? I don't know. Anyway, so what I inject every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, is a half or 0.5 ml, also known as 0.5 cc. You just have to know the ml part because that's what you're going to do with the syringe. The reason I'm doing what I'm doing now is I'm warming up the testosterone inside the little tube because it's very much like a syrup, and it gets cold and it's hard to pull out of the bottle, and it's also hard to inject into your body. So when it's warm, it's a little bit easier. Okay. Usually there's a cap on here, but this is the second time I'm doing it. Each one has 2 shots in it, so this is already my second shot for this, so its top is already off. And I have my syringe and needle. I have already washed my hands, pre-washed my hands. Make sure you do that first. Some people like to use gloves as well. I don't. I just wash my hands insanely. So this is a 22 gauge needle, and I use one needle for the whole process, for taking the testosterone out of the little thing there and injecting it into my body. But some people will use a larger needle, maybe a 20 gauge, to suck it out of the tube and put it into here, and then they'll switch the needle and they'll put on the thinner needle. This way it doesn't hurt as much going into wherever they're injecting it. I don't care. I think 22 is pretty okay for all intents and purposes. I like to push the air out of it, so I do this a lot. I haven't taken the top off the needle yet because I'm going to wait. I'm going to open up a couple alcohol pads and prepare. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rub alcohol on the top of the testosterone bottle. And then, because I'm crazy and exaggerative when it comes to making sure hygiene, use the alcohol pad on my hands. But, where I'm going to inject myself is going to be on my leg, right here. Somewhere in this area, I'll show you. You're going to want to get it into the muscle. This quadriceps muscle is the largest muscle in the body. I usually extend it and flex it first, because this helps make it less painful for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. So you just do that. And so I'll keep that flexed while I do this, while I get the testosterone into the syringe. So now I'll pull this down a little bit. I'll stick the needle into the tube. Now, I don't know if you can get a close-up of that, but you'll see you're going to want to get the needle to go. First, we're going to push. Again, you're going to see all the bubbles because I'm pushing the air back up into it. Okay? I'm probably going to turn it this way so I can see where I'm going, and then you'll see where I bring it down to and how much of a dose I have. So, very slowly, I'm going to start to pull. You don't want to pull fast. It's not going to pull fast. It's not going to come down. Because it's like syrupy, it comes out really slow. So you have to be patient with it. And you'll see that it's starting to fill the space. And as it fills, you could flick it and make sure there's no bubbles in it. Oops. And you can push it back up, and then you want to, because this is my second shot with this particular testosterone, I gotta empty it completely, so I'm gonna pull it up, and I have to get to right below the half ml mark. See that? And alright, so now I'm below it. So now you think, oh, well, I'm wasting all of that. That doesn't matter. You're never supposed to overdose on testosterone. If you overdose, you're actually making it worse for yourself. It'll turn into estrogen. So now I'm at the half point. I'm going to flick and make sure I have no air bubbles in there. I'm going to push out a little bit more. See how I'm just right on that spot of the halfway point, and this whole time my muscle has been flexed, and I just do that, and I'll usually lie on something. I'm left-handed, so this is kind of hard for me. I usually do my other leg, but you're supposed to switch legs every other time to give it, time to recover, because sometimes it'll you'll get a little bump there or whatever. Anyway, you grab a fatty part of it. At this point, you want to let go of your, you want to loosen your leg a bit. And so you just pick a spot. 1, 2, 3. Stick it in. Now it's in. Alright? No big deal. And slowly push testosterone into your muscle. Now what I usually do is, and I usually leave it in for like a few seconds. You don't feel it. You get very used to it. It seems like something that would be so horrific, but it's not that big deal. And at the same time, while it's in there, I'll get an alcohol pad prepared. And I'm not flexing my muscle now. It's just loose. Everything is loose. And 1, 2, 3. Pull it out nice and straight. There's no blood. You might get a little blood if you're getting excessive amount of blood. If you're spewing blood, you may have nicked a vein. Probably want to do some research on how to avoid that. There is ways to do that. But after the shot, if you've done it properly, you just mush around, because two things. It helps spread it around inside your body faster, and also you're less likely to get a lump there. If you don't have any blood, if there's no bleeding, there's no reason to put a Band-Aid or anything. I don't put a Band-Aid on it because my leg is very hairy, and it hurts more to rip the Band-Aid off than to actually do this part. But that's it, and you can see that there's just a little, that's it. It's nothing. It's simple. Now, there's still testosterone on the needle tip. There's a lot of people, a lot of guys who do a lot of different things with this. I'm not going to get into all that stuff. I just, it goes into our pores, so you can put it on there. It's not like you're going to have this huge excessive amount inside your needle. You can put it on you. Some people have said, oh, if I put a little bit on my face, will my facial hair grow faster? That's a myth. It's not true, and plus you'll probably, break out. So needle goes back on there. Make sure it's completely empty. The dose that I have is pretty standard, So everybody has, everybody's different. They might have different stuff, but most people will have the same dose. Put the cap back on the needle. If you use 2 needles, one for taking the testosterone out of the bottle and one for injecting it, then you just make sure you put the cap back on both of the needles. But, so now, my vial is completely empty. That's it. I finally got the word. This entire time I forgot the word, and now the word comes to me. The vial is totally empty. So again, I had used it for two shots. I had saved it, so now it's completely empty. So now I'll take it, and I'm gonna put it in my biodegradable I go to Callen Lorde Clinic in Manhattan, and they provide you with this. Your clinic or practitioner, whoever lets you do this, should give you a sharps container, and you have to make sure it stays open, because once it's closed, it stays closed and you can't open it. So you fill it up, and once you get to the line, bring it in and you get a new one. Anyway, that is it. That is pretty much the end of the line for me in terms of that. That is what I do bi-weekly, so twice a month. So if you have any questions about it, just drop me a line and we can talk more about it. But that's it. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.